Calling Michael Rourke, Campbell House Mental Health Team.
Hello, Michael Rourke speaking. Can I help you?
Hello, Michael. John O'Brien.
Hello, John. Thanks for getting back to me.
No problem.
So, you've raised some concerns with our complaints team. They forwarded that to me, so I just wanted to sort of have a chat with you about it.
Okay, thank you.
So let me just pull the information up. Hold on a second, please. Okay, so you saw one of our nurses, Lorraine Datty, a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure that I understand some of the issues, so I will just ask you one or two questions, if that's okay.
Yeah, fine.
You've said that you were informed by text that you would not be open to the team.
Yes.
Okay. When I looked at our records, it looks like you had a phone call conversation with Lorraine as well.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out why you're calling me. Firstly, Michael, what does open to the team mean? And why the hell do you expect me to know what it means as someone with mental health problems? So why am I having words used that confuse instantly? It shows that this team knows very little about mental health, because you don't confuse a mental health person who wants to cut themselves with a razor and then stop the blood from bleeding 25 times a day. So what does open to the team mean, Michael?
Okay, right. So what that means is that you would be in receipt of a service from that team.
Okay, so I'll just continue to cut myself with a razor blade then, shall I? Because clearly I don't fit the demographic of being in the team, do I?
Well, let me just pull up something. So, I'm looking at a note that Lorraine has made on the 27th of November, where she had a telephone conversation with you. Do you recall that?
Maybe. I'm not going to say it didn't take place, but do I remember? No, not necessarily.
Okay. So,
this guy's literally trying to cover his back from a complaint point of view. He's not bothered about my mental health.
You know the outcome of
You understand?
And she made a suggestion about getting help with anger management, but I think you felt that was not an issue or concern for you.
Michael, are you talking to me from I'm actually getting the distinct impression that you don't really care about my mental health. You're just simply going over a complaint procedure. Is really the complaint procedure more important than me cutting myself with a razor? Because it seems that you just seem to be going over what was said to just back up and you know what you said. Are you concerned about my mental health? Or are you just more concerned about... I'll give you the headline, right? And I'm not being facetious, yeah? Man found hanging after being turned down by his local Northamptonshire mental health team. Do you want another one? Man drinks bottle of Domestos after being not eligible to be supported by the Northampton Mental Health team. Do you want another one? Man cuts himself with razor blade after not being supported by the Northamptonshire Mental Health team. So, why are you calling me? Because you are not calling me about my mental health. You are simply calling me, in my opinion, about a complaints procedure. Shame on you, brother. So, what do we do? Why are you calling me?
Well, I am calling you in response to the concerns that you've raised with us.
But what are those concerns? Because the concerns I've raised are about my health. Are you calling me over concerns I've made in relation to how inadequate your system is and how rude it is and how sending generic letters to people who have mental health problems? I mean, I don't see the world in the way that you do, buddy, right? You know, after this conversation, I'm just going to start cutting my arm again. But because I don't fit into your demographic. Don't worry, I can get some drugs on the street corner later. Because, hey, don't give me any diazepam. That'd be too sensible. Look, don't worry, Michael. Just know this. After this phone call, I'm going to inscribe your name on the side of my forearm with a razor blade. Just so I don't forget how useless you guys are and how you've let me down. Right? I'm an employer, but that doesn't matter. Yeah, maybe I should be a homeless wife beater who came in from Afghanistan yesterday and you'd look after me. But don't worry. I'll make sure the newspapers know, and I'll make sure that I'll send the pictures of my wounds with your name on it to the newspapers. So you're either going to help me or you're not. But this conversation is going to go nowhere because you're a bureaucrat and basically you just want to protect your job. So I wanted to be in the system so you could help me. Clearly, I don't fit that demographic, Michael. So I'll embarrass the fuck out of you then, okay? Using my skin and a razor blade. So unless you're going to bring me into the system, brother, please feel free to hang this recorded phone conversation up and we'll see where it leads. But I need help. If you don't want to give it to me, then don't give it to me. But there will be consequences.
At your office.
Great. There'll be consequences for me and your team. Okay?
Yeah, I'm just a bit confused because
Of course you are.
The conversation that we're having is very different to the conversation that I'm looking at that you had just a couple of weeks ago with one of my colleagues.
Well, one of us is lying then. Or one of us not lying hasn't written down the correct information. Or maybe, because I have mental health problems and potentially bipolar, maybe I'm different on different days. Do you think that would be beyond the wit of man to consider, Michael? What do you reckon?
No, I think that's possible.
Basically, sir, well, I don't wish to give you a hard time, but we all know what goes on. Man fell through the cracks, committed suicide. Don't worry. You know, I've got bundles of emails from you telling me that you're not interested. Well, don't be interested then. And when I'm dead, the 6 people I employ will die with me because they won't be able to pay their mortgage. Because I'm not a drunk, alcoholic, useless nitty who doesn't do anything all day. I'm a man who's got a lot on his plate who needs a bit of help. And I thought by reaching out to you people, I'd get some. But all I got was excuses.
Motion detected in the side yard.
Oh dear, I'm tired of that going off. So all I'd really like to ask you, sir, with respect, is can you put me back into your system, please, so I can get medication, talk to people, be involved and get advice on how to go through a day without wanting to self-harm or kill myself, if I fit your demographic.
It's not... You've used the term a few times in this call. It's not about you your demographic. It's about how we understand your needs or what we think may be helpful to you.
Well, clearly you think nothing is helpful to me, Michael, not you personally.
Well, can I finish?
Sure.
Sure. So before speaking with you today, I have had a look at records of contact with various people in our teams over the last few months. And to me, there were two themes there. One is about your drug use, and the other is about difficulty managing your very angry feelings at times.
Brother, I can't even wash my penis because I don't want to get out of bed or wash anymore. Right? I can go and score drugs at the top of my street, which was what I did when I saw that nonsense that was sent to me yesterday or the day before. I self-medicated because of what was sent to me, because, brother, I thought, even though I'm a nobody, right, I'm still a father and I'm still a human being. Right? You don't need to respect me. I don't mind about those things. But if you guys want to make me feel worthless as well, on top of how worthless I feel already, Michael, keep doing what you're doing. Because you were the reason I was snorting coke the other day. The very reason. I saw that letter, done a bottle of vodka, snorted coke and started cutting my arm up. Right, you tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm not desperate enough to be lying that the people I turn to, brother, tell me I'm not good enough. Well, I haven't been good enough all my life, Michael. How many times do I have to be involved with the police? How many crimes do I have to accidentally get involved with committing because I don't understand what goes on in my head? And I'm not trying to be an arsehole to you, brother. You're calm, and that sort of makes me calm. But if my life is worth nothing to you guys, well, let me get on with killing myself then, please. And stop calling me.
Well, you're attributing... I don't know, a kind of motivation to us or to me or to our services, which I don't think is accurate. We don't want you to come to any harm. Okay?
Well, so rejecting me, which is what's happened to me all my life. I know I've got to be dirty and coming with holes in me thing and smelling of weed or something for you to... I don't understand this. Michael, I employ people. Now, it doesn't make me any better than anyone else. But what it means is that when I finally hang myself from my bloody very expensive chandelier, right, people will lose their jobs. Am I not worth some inquiry as to, well, can't we, that Lorraine, as much as I like her, she's a nice lady, right, she turned off the second I told her that I sometimes pay for my own CBT. And when you knew that, I know exactly, so don't even bother lying. When I said, well, sometimes once a month I'll get CBT, you then thought to yourselves, not you, I can't speak for you, well, he can afford it, right? He's got the money, so let him pay for it. I know exactly what the system is. And it's just, well, I'm not having CBT no more. So I just want to go for a day without feeling suicidal and useless. I'd like to feel as if my life means something. But clearly, after I got the letter from you people, right, and I'm not trying to be rude, you seem very courteous, right, my life means fuck all to you. So I went out, done a gram of coke and a bottle of vodka and started messing around with a razor blade. Because that is how it made me feel. And no, Michael, I don't need 5 police officers outside my house in a minute because I'll only start fighting with them. All right? So if you want to help me, can you own it, please? And just save this soul from going down the rabbit hole. Now I'm listening. You've heard me piece. Thank you.
Okay. Have you had coke today?
No, sir. Because I don't, because Michael, I know you, I don't want to generalise. Some people just need someone to save. So no, I don't take cocaine every day. I don't drink alcohol every day. What I do, Michael, is act out of I can't think of the word. When I can't think of any other options, it numbs the pain, brother. Right? Ask me if I've had a wash this week. because that seems to be a very important question. You know, ask me if I've got the will to get out of bed, right? You guys have made me feel worthless, right? And it's not like it's even your money. It's just a budget. But being plugged into a system like yours, Michael, I have to commit a crime every 3 years just so I can get into probation, because they give me sort of a therapy. It's, you know, I talk to them once a week. I've even had, Michael, probation extended. They couldn't believe it. They say, we give you 18 months of probation. After 18 months, Michael, I've said, can I have another year, please? They've gone, what? Are you kidding? Are you joking or what? Because I have to talk to someone, brother. And I thought you guys, because you guys are so powerful, you know, your reach is wide. So, yeah, I took drugs on the same night as I got that letter, because it just said John O'Brien's a scumbag. No one gives a shit about John O'Brien. I mean, shit, Michael. Even my kids don't. So I wouldn't expect you to. You don't have to. So, but look, buddy. I don't know what to say to you. I don't want to be rude to you.
I appreciate that. You sound, you know, I'm trying to understand what's going on for you, how you're feeling, and think about what the options are. I think that when you know, I've mentioned this already, but when I'm looking back at the conversation that Lorraine has recorded, on the 27th of November, she said she spoke to you. You said you were feeling 70% better, and
that's not a lie, Michael. That's not a lie. Okay. She recorded that accurately, brother. Because I'm not going to lie, but that was then. I felt 70% better because it took a half an hour to explain where the bloody building was. I'm driving around like a flaming moron. We virtually had an argument on the telephone before I even got into the building because they didn't know where the building was. I then park on a double yellow line. And what I really meant by that, Michael, and I wasn't trying to deceive, was how do you feel than what you felt an hour ago, John, when you were arguing with me on the phone? Well, an hour ago, I felt terrible. But now I'm talking to you in person and you're engaging me. This is why they have to understand. I feel 70% better than I did an hour ago because I've got someone in front of me, Michael, who cares, who's interested. So, so if that's, you know, come on, sir, you're smart enough to know that 70% doesn't last for the rest of my life. You know, I'll tell you how I felt when I received the letter yesterday. 95% worse. So please don't use that 70% as well. He's fine then. He's not self-harming. He's not taking drugs, and it's desperation. So yeah. But Michael, that letter made me go out and score drugs. Now you don't have to believe me. I'm just telling you the truth. That's all. It made me feel so desperate, so lost, so ignored. And like I say, I'm not Richard Branson. I'm a nobody. I'll die. No one will even miss me. But you are talking to a man who's trying to survive. I am trying to do something, Michael. I don't want drugs. I don't want alcohol. I don't want negative thoughts. I am trying.
Okay.
On many levels, I guess.
You mentioned medication.
Yes, sir.
And I think specifically previously there was discussion about diazepam.
Yeah.
I think Lorraine had suggested discussions with your GP about medication. Are you taking any prescribed medication at the moment?
Well, as Lorraine gave it a name like PNA or something, but I mentioned to Lorraine I do have some diazepam left, but I only take them if and when I need them. So 28 days supply of diazepam, Michael, can last me 2 years if you see what I mean, because I don't wake up and take diazepam. If the world gets too much for me, then I'll consider taking a diazepam. You know, so I've got maybe 22 left out of a box of 28.
What strength are they?
2 milligrams, Michael. So I know, I know what happens if you take 5 of them, but I don't need to. I've never asked for any more than 2 milligrams. I'm not. There's no point here. I'm not trying to get as much out of you as I can. I'm still sensible enough, Michael, to only reach out when I'm desperate and to only take medication when I feel as if I need to. However, the effects that cocaine and alcohol have on a soul that is impressionable, easily influenced and depressed are euphoric. You know this. And there's no amount of diazepam I can take to give myself euphoria, which then makes me forget about my emptiness and my loneliness and my, self-harming. Brother, I lived through cancer. For what reason? Just so I could have mental health problems that people don't really want to help me about. But also, Michael, if you, as you know, sir, I know you know, I'm not ringing up my doctor for diazepam. It takes 3 hours to get through to them. Have you seen the Google reviews for doctors? It's not rhetorical, right? So, brother, just because maybe I come across as eloquent, that just means I know how to kill myself more effectively. Believe me. Just because I'm eloquent or got a couple of quid in my pocket, it doesn't make me not vulnerable. That DJ Avicii, that young man who killed himself, £50 million he was worth, didn't take the pain in his head away though, did it? And that's where I get to, Michael.
Okay.
And thank you for your courtesy. But you are talking to someone who's up and down every other second of the day. And this is a very sticky subject. And I was very honest with Lorraine, Michael. Very honest. And I bared my soul to her for nothing. I could have saved myself the embarrassment, brother, Yeah.
You mentioned that you were paying for CBT.
Yeah.
But that's stopped now, is that correct?
Well, yeah, because I can only really pay for it, Michael, when I can afford it, And although, and don't get it twisted, I have a choice sometimes. Do you want to pay 60 quid for CBT or do you want to buy a gram of Coke and a bottle of vodka? And they're real choices that if people that were to respect your position and talk to you honestly, they would say, and you must know. So it's a devil's own choice, brother. Do I want to go and talk to someone for an hour or get high for 8 hours? And forget about my problems, which are still there in the morning. But the minute I said to Lorraine, I just got the impression, because I don't want to be arrogant, I got the impression that the second the lady thought I could afford to buy a couple of therapies, you guys just booted me out. That's how I felt, buddy. But it's not.
Okay. Well,
if you charged me for your service, I'd pay you. But you guys are so powerful and plugged in. I wanted to be part of your gang. I wanted to be known to you guys. Because you guys are, you understand? You're very important. Your department, and me getting a little bit of therapy from a guy in a shed in the back of his garden doesn't have as much as importance on medical records. That's why I wanted to be part of your thing, Michael.
I appreciate that you've been very open and upfront with me, and I'll try to do the same for you. Okay. So
thanks. Can I just simply ask you, sleep on it, whatever, right? I'm starting cutting myself with razor blades. Could you just please reconsider and maybe sleep on it? Because this conversation I'm going to need to calm down from anyway. And are you there, Michael?
Yes.
Michael, I've got to go. But can you reconsider and we talk another day?